Good evening and welcome to 2UE's Special of the Week. Over the last few years, we've seen an increase in the prominence of Australian rock groups overseas, with Men at Work, Crowded House and In Excess achieving #1 status in the United States. But tonight, we look at the group that pioneered the way for those bands in the late 70s and has just released a new album 13 years after their debut. That band, of course, is the Little River Band. It's a long way there. The first hit off LRB's self-titled debut album from 1975. It was only a matter of months after the recording of that album that the group reached the top of the charts in Australia.
And that first album, it's like the first gig that we did. Like, whenever you take a break after an album, that first show you do, you put so much energy into it because it's sort of like you're saying, gee, it's great to be back through your instrument, And so that first album, I'd never done an album. In fact, half the band had never recorded an album, so we were all really excited about the thing.
Yeah.
And Glenn had been in England accomplishing nothing for about 5 years. And so we all went into that thing so vibed up, and I think it really shows.
But although they must have seemed an overnight sensation, each member had a wealth of experience in previous bands. Glenn Shorrock had success with the Twilights and Axiom, while Graham Goebel, Beeb Birtles and Derek Pellicci were the core of Mississippi.
I was a bit disappointed in not being able to crack into the, the stakes in England. I worked, but as a roadie and as a session singer. And then I met up with Goebels and Birtles and Wheatley and guys like that who were in exactly the same position as I was. And out of desperation, Little River Band was formed, really.
With the American release of the first album in 1976, LRB embarked on a successful tour of England, Canada and the US, which yielded 2 American hits and gained them worldwide recognition. Upon returning home, the group picked up the title of Australia's #1 export and began to work on their second album for America, the classic Diamantina Cocktail. Another world tour closely followed, and if the first one saw them recognised, then this one achieved them stardom.
We get sort of standing ovations just about everywhere we play now. It's getting to be normal. Of course, having the record in top 20 is another.
Were you surprised at all, either of you, by the reactions that you got from the audience?
In the States?
Yeah.
Well, at first we thought maybe we were just a novelty, being from Australia. But the last gig we did in Jacksonville, how many times have we done Jacksonville?
We've done about 7 times now.
Yeah, and the last time was really a test for us, because we came back there after only previously been there 6 weeks before, and we came back there and did another gig and sold the place out. And
that was a good one, wasn't it?
Did a bit better gig than ever, and that was very satisfying to us because it proved that we can hold an audience. We got staying power now over there.
Well, I got a bit jittery on the.
There was a couple of
Kansas City
really big gigs, like
50,000
people. It was like a grand final.
I was going to say the football.
It was in the baseball stadium, yeah. And all it was dots from way up in there.
On to 78, and things just kept getting better. Another world tour and another hit album, Sleeper Catcher, and the world was well and truly conquered. With top 10 hits Reminiscing and Lady, LRB scored their first platinum LP in the States, plus a string of gold album and single awards worldwide. Derek Pellicci talks of the effect on their music after it became clear that the US market was their main aim.
You do get very ruled by that US thing. They sort of say, boys, this is what your single's going to have to be now, or we've edited the single. Like, we were amazed when they edited It's a Long Way There. I mean, that would have been the last choice I would have had as a single, just on the logistics of the length of the song. They just came along with a pair of scissors and said, oh, look, now it's happening.
Amazing.
And we have a cult following from that song. I mean, we'd probably get shot if we didn't play that song at a live show in America.
Oh, yeah?
It's our real Ricky Don't Lose That Number or something. We're expected to play that tune.
By 1979, LRB were a major world act and had secured a new worldwide record deal with Capitol. Time again for a new album, First Under the Wire, and yet another tour, their most extensive to date. Just like the rest, First Under the Wire won more awards and acclaim than its forerunners, yielding 2 smash hit singles, Cool Change and Lonesome Loser.
It was another one of the Nashville demos that we did, David and Glenn and myself, and we came back here and kept that pretty much the way it was. It came up a lot stronger, though. We felt that David was onto a great song here. David Briggs wrote the song, and we were really excited that he'd written a song like that. But when we recorded it back here, it was so strong. We knew, I think it was about the third song that we recorded doing this album, and we knew right away that it was probably going to be a strong single, even though we had 6 songs still to go. And even Boylan said, this has got to be the single. It's really strong. He could feel it.
Little River Band's smash hit from 1979, Lonesome Loser. The unprecedented touring success led to the 1980 release of the live album Backstage Pass, recorded on the 79 American tour.
Luckily, as I say, it came at the right time in our age and our maturity. Had we been 21, 22, we may have blown it. But, you know, we were all in our early 30s with married and young families, so we had some sense of responsibility. And as I say, we'd had a track record in other groups, so we knew the ropes. And that desperation was there as well.
Glenn Shorrock on the success enjoyed by LRB up until that time in the early 80s. But it was not long after this that LRB fans were shocked with the news that Shorrock was to leave the band.
Became methodical. And at one stage I opened my eyes and suddenly thought, crikey, this band sold 15 million records around the world and we only know 18 songs. You know, that sort of... If I was to turn around to them and say, right, let's do Lady Madonna. Oh, no, we don't know that. Or let's do Long Tall Sally. No, we can't play that. And I thought to myself, well, there's more to a repertoire than just your own song. They were a little bit too, what's the word, insular.
1983 saw the band back on the charts with a new singer and a new album. John Farnham, himself a successful singer in the 70s, slotted into the band nicely, and it seemed that LRB was going to be as big a act in the 80s as in the 70s. You're listening to 2UE Special of the Week on the Little River Band, and we'll be back with more just after this. It's history now that John Farnham left the band in 1986 to pursue a solo career that's seen him eclipse all the previous successes with the solo album Whispering Jack. Meanwhile, LRB, after somewhat of a layoff, are back again with yet another album and yet again with Glenn Shorrock up front. As far as the band performing permanently goes, Glenn can't foresee it.
No, I don't think... I don't look at it that way anymore. I would make myself available every year to maybe record an album if there was still a market there for it. But as far as going on the road constantly, no, I'm not interested in that anymore.
But whatever the future holds, the current album Monsoon sees a welcome return to the songs that characterise the world-conquering Little River Band of the late 70s. Right now, if you'd like to win a copy of LRB's Monsoon album, courtesy of WEA, call now on 929 5555. 929 5555. The first 5 callers will win. You've been listening to the Special of the Week and a tribute to the Little River Band, one of Australia's most successful music exports. And here's another track off the new album, Soul Searching.